Good morning, everybody. All right, so we're getting a gap up today. You know, um, well, yesterday was looking pretty good, and if you watch the midday video that I put out there, um, the movement up ended pretty much right in this area. We talked about prices coming down to the area of this pivot low, and I guess anywhere in this congestion area. And that's where it stopped, and it's just, not a big deal. At the time, look on the 15-minute chart and see how the pivots were getting closer together. I mentioned that in the video that momentum was slowing in that area. So when I did the video, I guess it was maybe around that time of day, give or take, where that pivot was coming up. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Um, and so, pullback really not a big deal. And while this isn't a pivot, it was sure as hell would be on a 5-minute chart, but just pointing out when you get a 2-bar reversal like that, um, there isn't 3 bars to the left as I'm looking at that. I don't know if that red bar and green bar are the same price, but regardless of that, probably not. The red one's probably a little lower, but there isn't 3 bars to the left. So, you're not always going to get a perfect setting. It's set to 3, but all we need to do is recognize that there's a bar, like a larger bar that comes down like that and flips up. That's going to be a pivot. So prices came down there. It was the end of the day, and that's where support was, and that's where buyers would be. And so now they're gapping up, and like any gap, one of the questions is it gapping above? If I gap up, is it gapping above resistance, or is it just an inside gap that it's gapping up from yesterday's close? And what we see is it's gapping up near yesterday's high. It's an inside day. Let me see what they're saying on social media here. Can you hear me? The mic is on. All right. So yeah, okay. So I think everybody hears me in the green room. They should hear me in the other one, but nobody's answering me. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Anthony's saying yes. Thank you, Anthony. All right. So thank you. Um, and as I looked around this morning, everything was basically an inside day. So, all right, where do we go from here? And we look at where the cues are at, and just going back up here to the daily chart, they're right up near resistance and into this little congestion area right there. It's gapping above a red bar. As we look at different time frames, it's kind of clearing this. It was tested. So what I would be looking for today, right? It could be a go above a 5-minute bars high. We just don't know for sure, but we look for probabilities based on the chart. So if I said, give me my ideal scenario for a long, it would be, hey, can it trade 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, chopping around there? This bar that you can see here, it doesn't have to be that big, but could I get a bar within that? Say I'm looking at a 5-minute chart and it goes sideways for 20 minutes and I get a spike down and back up again, whether it's a 180 or a bottoming tail bar, it doesn't matter. You know, basically the message is the same. Um, and then where could we go from here? So again, just looking at the cues, if it rattled around there at that resistance, well, it could go up into this area, which is what I pointed out yesterday during the midday market review. So that would be your next reference point, give or take. And then you have 3 days up into a significant resistance area. Um, and so we'll see. Otherwise, it's going like this and it gap and crap. But gap and crap is still going to be within an inside day, which would be somewhat constructive. We don't know where it's going to end, but some retest of this area in during this week, holding that because we look at the weekly chart and we see it's multiple days down. It's into this support, and maybe the week can close green, and then as always, we ideally you get a second day of consolidation, and then possibly a move up. What we don't, well, depends on your point of view, what we want or what we don't want, right? What we would not want is it closes like this and next week it moves up and gets slammed right back down again, because that could lead to a measured move lower. Yeah. So we're very far from any type of analysis like that because we don't have the bars to even, but I always just point out different things as I look at pattern to say, well, this is what we have. Right? Essentially, this is not what we have because this is Wednesday and there's 2 more days to complete this. Um, as I said, this is where we're at. Now we got to see how does it deal with that resistance over there on the 65-minute, and does it drop from there? Or does it go sideways? And we use the term absorb supply. A lot of people get confused by that term, but all it means is it's at resistance and it's going sideways, or traders are buying the dip, and it's holding up in that area. Sometimes I use the term bullish price action at resistance, but it's a different way of explaining. The spiders, they're gapping up. It's inside gap up near the same area. You see yesterday stalled right where, if you watch the video, into that pivot low there and resistance, and pulled back and formed a topping tail, which suggested it could go down, but it's an inside gap. We may just get a day trading inside of that bar. SPX numbers came way up from yesterday from the bottom. Let's just see if we still got quotes here. Look for around 51. So it's coming up a little bit as it holds there. So 60. 60 would be doable. 65 would be better. It's up here. And so when we look at that, it's like, okay, this is where would be enough premium to do the spread. It's ridiculously far away, unless, some new unknown news come out. But that's as I said, unknown. That's the caveat. Now, would we be willing to take the chance to do something below 5,100, a whole number, and prices would have to drop from here all the way below yesterday's low, below the day before's low, and come down here and get through 5,100. And if it was dropping like that, something's definitely wrong, right? You wouldn't have to guess about it. And so as you look at that, let me say D1, let's say 90. And so now, we go to that and we say, okay, 180 by 190, then you decide for yourself, 5 wide, 10 wide, you can get your juice. But I don't think it would go down there. But down there where we just had it, disclaimer, anything can happen. It ain't going there today. So if you can get down below 5,100, whatever credit spread you do, I think it's a super high probability. And you see where my cursor is at that unfilled gap. Right? Up above, 53.85, what I grabbed before. And so this was a little bit higher, so let's just call it 80. Could it get there today? Probably not, but it might be able to get into that area. All right, so it already hit this. It's right here. Could it get there today? Kind of, yeah, I think so. Gonna get down here? I think not. That's credit spread analysis. I don't think it's going there. All right, let's look at the futures. It's 914 was down here. It's up here. It's an inside day. You got pivots to the left. Go sideways. Can it get through that? Maybe it goes up. Otherwise, we're in a trading range. Chopping around there. Up above here. And look, it could look just like any kind of a breakout. This is going sideways at resistance. So bullish price action, absorbing supply, call it what you want. It's holding up very well at resistance. If it hit here, and it's already been dealing with this, so that it's got a higher probability that it can get through it. But how far can it go? Well, this is a 24-hour chart. It's already run a race from down here to there, but bullish price action, and maybe 5,400 or that bar's close up there. I don't think it has huge upside potential, but you could probably definitely could do a day trade. If it gets down below here, well, you can see where the cursor is. You're going to have a topping tail. And so we don't have a great opening thing here. Just because things are gapping up, it doesn't mean it's a good scenario. It's okay, but it ain't great. Same story, sideways there at resistance, bullish price action, inside day so far. We'll see what it does. I didn't want Bitcoin. Same kind of thing, little relative strength. It's above the pivots. So there's some kind of strength winning here. Maybe it's regional banks or bios. We'll have to see. Little breakout failure there. As you can see, breakout failure and a little more selling where it tried to go up in that tail there. So I don't think it's nothing to do at the moment. The Dow, similar to the others, just chopping around there, back and forth, back and forth. I saw some of the semiconductors were lower. That SCMI was lower. It's gapping down on a beat. So, and some other semis were lower. Yeah, the index is actually gapping up. So something in there. I think the video was up, but it's gapping up, similarly to the top of yesterday's range where there's resistance. Let's see if we get on Friday what that looks like. No, Roberto, there's a bond auction for the 10-year at 1 o'clock. Keep that in mind. There's some oil news. So if you're interested in oil stocks, there's going to be some oil numbers coming out. Yeah. So oil got pounded down. It's at the bottom of the range. So maybe some oil stocks, Dan, if there's juice, with put spreads, if they look somewhat similar like that. Yeah. Transports. So look, we talked about these messy charts. It's going to take time for things to settle down. After such big ranges and moves like that, things just have to tighten up, and the fear factor, so to speak, has to dissipate. And you see that monstrous move that happened in the volatility index, and now it's coming back down to earth. It could turn back up, but look, that was just a significant, major significant move, because even if you put this on a monthly chart, as you can see, it went all 2020 area where it went up to, which you would have, I'm looking at that and thinking, based on the size of that move up, you would have thought it was a lot worse. It would have been a lot worse than what happened in the broader markets, but there's a lot of oh crap kind of situation after that number on Friday. It was like, no, we didn't expect that. What do we do now? That was that kind of reaction. So, well, yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, but it was worse on Monday. So I think the stupid media tried to say it was because of Friday, and I'm like, really? 3 days earlier? You think the market is that friggin' slow to digest information? So I think it was the Japan carry trade is what, was rocking our markets too, and the boxes and all that kind of stuff. All right, so when I woke up today, the very first, and I saw the futures, the very first thing I thought of is we're getting a possible violent bottom here, up, down, up, down, up, down. But what that's doing is creating major support on an hourly chart. So Alex asked me into the close, or so Dan, you're not bullish anymore? And I said, well, that depends on what time frame you're asking me, Alex. And number two, I'll tell you in the morning when I see the gap. I'll give you my new buys. Um, so there you have it. If this can go sideways, that's an inverse head and shoulders on the 15. So I'm back to being bullish. If factory work says if this holds, what does hold mean? A retracement of less than a third. It's that freaking simple. I'll be looking to put on a bunch of more put spreads. All right. And we're 100% bullish and we substantially increased our exposure. Arm here, we're long stock and put spreads. I said over yesterday, you can add to it. Crowd, same, very similar. Climo, nice reversals. These are great Climo examples, of what type of potent 1 or 2 bar turn that we get. I had an alarm go off on HCA. See, it had a print up here. It was not very liquid, but I sent out an alert saying try to sell some pre-market. I'm not in the stock. I'm in the put spread myself. Um, but I was hoping it'd gap up there and then I'll close my puts with. All right, let's go to earnings now. I deleted a ton of these already, so if you have any ideas, any other things you want me to look at. All right, this Lumen, I don't know what the heck's got this thing going. I said yesterday I wouldn't be surprised if it gapped under the low. But then I also said let it gap up huge. And you can short a 30-minute low or whatever pattern for a day trade. That's definitely getting, what do they say, off the end of your skis. Bullish gap bottoming pattern. Airbnb. I have 3 on my list here I'm watching as excessive gaps. This is one. SMCI is another. They're bearish. They're bearish gaps, but well, actually, I take that back. This one is not that excessive. I take that back. That's just gap into these lows. So that is bearish. Nevertheless, I'll watch it. And then Trex, $60. That is one nasty gap. Gapping off this entire chart from November. So I got that in a window. Let's continue. Hotel Lima. We got a ton of Climos, so it's just finding the cleanest one. Gapping to $5, so it's up 3 bars now, but maybe 30-minute high. I think I'm going to focus just more on the ETFs and the usual suspects instead of there's just so many of these. Look at this, same Devon gapping up, same. There's so many like this. But put spread idea, 30-minute high. Yeah, I took it off my list, Alex, when it was down. See, pre-market it was down. I took it off the list. 59 and change, 30-minute high, maybe. a kaping. I set an alarm at 21, see if it can recover. Upstart, that's a massive bullish gap. Look at the monthly. Look at the monthly. So even though the gap's monstrous, so I'll keep it on the list. Moss gapping up over these again. There's so many of these, but this would be a no-brainer put spread if there's any juice. Here's another excessive gap, PGNY. I will watch that. A lab downtrend, but pseudo 1, 2, 3 could bounce. Amgen under these lows could be a call spread. Alumina is a mess. I have an alarm on this. I think 873 bottoming pattern. This is a recent IPO. I'll watch it. I like IPOs when you have enough data. Massey bottoming pattern. Look, buy setup on the monthly. Nice turn here after a climb on the weekly. That's a put spread idea. I can't tell where it's opening, but it would be over yesterday's high. Let me set an alarm 110.40. Hey, green room, just so you know, I got an alert from my cable that they're doing maintenance sometime today and to expect outages. I'm like, wonderful. This one, it's a buy setup, but from a rounded top. So you don't expect a new high. But I made this comment yesterday that anything above its 20, 50, 200 is showing amazing relative strength in light of what the broader market's doing. Anthony on YouTube, IFO gap up into resistance 100. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a bullish gap. So it's range bound. Um, so there's nothing to do, Anthony, except put it in a 5-minute window and in the first 30 minutes, see if it sets up anything of interest. Tide water gapping down, no pattern. That's another oil. This is a sloppy buy setup after a breakout. I'm gonna set an alarm at, oh, it's showing here printing 20, but if there's no prints, because I was about to set an alarm at 1803. So we'll come back to that. There's tricks. That's gapping down to yesterday's low. This would be a nice pattern if it turns into a bear gap that bullies, which means it negates this gap in the first hour. I'm going to set an alarm at 36. Early, always early for me. I just had an alarm on coin go off. I posted this as a naked put trade. Another Climo with wide range reversal. A par. Mess. Mess, but there, mess. That's just another Climo that you could trade. All right, I got more alarms going off. Microsoft, nice. That's a nice gap and nice pre-market base with a void. This could be a day trade and also a 2 DTE. We already shorted the way out of 365s, I think, for next week. Massey alarm going off, but still no premium. ARM alarm going off. Nice, nice. We're already long this. But this is a good trade to add. Looks great. Looks very good as a new trade. IAC. That's a Climo put spread, 30-minute high. All right, that's it. I went through all the earnings. These are miscellaneous. TJX, bear 123. I'll set an alarm 108.50. iRobot. This was earnings. I personally sold the $8 naked puts. So I will be in very good shape. I'm bidding 2 cents to get out. I'm gonna set an alarm at 9 just so I don't forget it. All right, H Hotel, we have a put spread, and I know Hilton came out. Oh shoot, my data. Semis, where we got naked puts also. That's very bullish gap in pre-market. So that can be an add. Here's our HCA. I don't know what it's gonna do. PSX garbage. Home Depot, I posted as a put spread over this 15 or naked, whatever it was. I forget. I've been doing more nakeds because I'm trying to get a better spread. All right, Mindy here, another gap reversal. There's so many of these. This is a put spread idea. My alarm just went off. All right, HCA. All right, it gapped up a little, but not a lot. Semis up alarm. Spot up alarm. Spot looks good. Look at beautiful 15-minute charts, you all. This could be a 5-minute high day trade. We're already short the put spreads, but you can add if there's any juice. And SMH alarm went off. That looks fantastic. It looks like it's going to that gap fill or minor resistance. Crowd up alarm. iRobot up alarm. That's for me though, not you. All right, so Q's obviously the strongest here pre-market. All the fangs, every single fang has pretty a bullish 15-minute chart.
Zoomy is triggering, but it's like super light volume. I think it was one dot. So don't, I don't know what's going on with that. Doesn't even look like it's trading, but it's near yesterday's high. The one rising at the 20 MA.
Spot, we're already in, but looks great. Q's alarm, Zulu Sierra alarm, nice. We did a put spread yesterday. We did into the close. 157, 152. Let's move stop here. Zulu Sierra 165. It's that down. It's that 15-minute resistance. But sure, it could be wrong. Let me look. Coin, remember I mentioned the puts, naked puts. One arm. Is that for I gave one as a new trade for next week. All right, Home Depot. It's over this pivot right here. 358.07. What did I post? Yeah, that's wrong. Yep. Yep, thanks. Let me set a new alarm. That coin. Um, Y'all gotta help me with the juice bar. This I posted, triggered, crowd is moving, CMG up alarm. We got out yesterday, but I said I was gonna set a new alarm because it looks higher. Coin next week, 150 puts. 46 by 75, so we're not gonna get filled. I'm gonna go low offer on the 145s myself. See CMG, yeah, 30-minute hot. Look at that 15-minute chart. I know it's up 2 bars, but this looks higher. It's a complex bottom with a bullish 15. 30-minute high. That looks great. Qs. Let's see. We have the 415 puts that expire Friday. $0.11. I got an SMCI here breaking down, Airbnb breaking down. I already moved stop here, so that's fine. It came down hard, Alex, so do not expect a new high. Man, Q's rocking here. Spiders again. It's amazing correlation over the last few months of these things. Friggin' amazing. Yeah. This is not a swing trade, but these are amazingly bullish 15-minute charts for day trades. Yeah, I'm not sure the target coming into that gap fill. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. I like that. Yeah, nice relative weakness. All right, Alex, that CVS gave it up, so I'm gonna stop now. It looks CVS looks like a short. I'm gonna set an alarm here, 61:30. All right, this Hyatt put spread of mine is not looking good. He is on life support right now of killing him. Our stop 129.98, but I am not liking it. Got our HCA. Yeah, I seriously doubt we sold up it there. Starbucks. That's a beautiful put spread idea. Look at all that support being some made over time. And 73 for next week would be a no-brainer. 49.54. AMD up alarm. That was looking ugly yesterday. All right, let's do put spread for next week. Round. All right, that's not going to give us an X-ray. I'm not chasing, but look at that bullshit team. That's Starbucks. Oh, oh shit. Where's my brain? Yeah, oh, you know why? Because because my AMD alarm went off. So that was in my head as I was typing. Man, I need some more coffee. But you know what, Rangan, it's what I call harmless error, and here's why. Number one, I posted the chart in Telegram. Number two, if they did go to AMD and try to sell a 7370, you sure as hell ain't getting 33 cents. So they're going to be emailing me, what? I don't understand this. They'll be bitching. Hey, AMD is $135. Why are you telling me to short a $73 strike, Dan? I didn't learn that in your seminar. And I'll say, yeah, it's the miscellaneous chapter of using common sense. You need to go back and take a look at that again. Right. Oh, there's no way we're gonna get filled now, being Wednesday. 122. Yeah, no, there's no friggin' way. All right, so ignore. I was just showing you what I had posted. But if it closes like this and then takes out yesterday's high. Oh, and my alarm was early, by the way. So that it didn't even trigger.
Goldman Sachs wouldn't be bad with some kind of a continuation or a pullback kind of day trade. Maybe it gets to the 20 on the daily. I mean, it's just sideways gapping up from an end of day base. 5 minute isn't bad. It's not extended. You can see the markets are just sideways here, somewhat bullish. They're not, no one's ready to jump in there. And I'm a little concerned of a breakout failure kind of thing, but you never know. Yeah. Yeah. Smaller size and big stop.
Might not be that much weakest spot.
That 5 minute price action on the spiders was pretty good. The red bar was a little bigger and it's retracing. This 5 bar not done, but That's the kind of price action you want to see in a sideways base, not just all bullish bars.
Wow, Goldman rocked off the low. ESTA alarm. Hey, that's the one I said. See if it turns into a bear gap that bullies. So 30-minute high, you could sell $34 puts if there's anything. Or Airbnb, I got zero interest in here. SMCI, no pattern, none of that tricks. This one I like the best of the three. For a put spread, if there's any choose tricks. There's no weeklies. And the 55s are 0 by 85, so no interest. Oh, I forgot about my iRobot. See, I'm bidding 2 cents to get out of my $8 puts, but they're only, I hate when they do this. When they have a 5 cent minimum bid. Can anybody explain that to me? Why I cannot post a 2 cent bid? So the market maker is forced to post it at 5 cents for some stupid ass rule. That irritates me. But I can still get out by paying the offer on a higher strike to lock in the gains, but still it's annoying because I want to get out of 2 cents. Disney was all over the place this morning. Still no pattern. This one guy on Fox Biz being interviewed, Fox, um, the business channel. He was just pounding the table to buy it. I'm like, all right, you're definitely a fundamentalist, not a technician. Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about it. If you were long, I sure would have had to stop a 2 minute low. Intel, I have an alarm. Look at this dog, still can't bounce, even with the market rocking. Elks, I have an alarm at 28. Look at this. Wow, this thing, I had this as a put spread watch. That's a ADR. Again, messed it up. Toyota Motor. Remember, I was trying to sell a 155 put this day. Didn't get filled. All right, mags are up, obviously. That VIX was a great trade. My only regret is not doing bigger position size because I was so confident about that. Does this thing have options? This could be a 30-minute low call spread. And they should be jacked. Yeah, but I can't get a good midpoint. Yeah, the 9/10s for Friday are 12 cents midpoint. Yeah, that's what I just said. For naked calls or any flavor of bearish trade fit your fancy. Massey gap's too big. I didn't see the gap pre-market, remember? But I like daily, weekly, monthly, but No interest now. Revlev, I said was a buy setup. I didn't see that big gap earlier. Look at the monthly bottom pattern. But it's going to take a week or so for it to set up for me. And I don't, Alex, I just looked at it. What do you want me to say? I already said that. I said 30-minute low short, and I was just looking at I was just talking about a call spread. All right, Estra, I'm gonna set a new alarm, 3650 or 3630. AC is rocking and rolling. My robot semis. Let me see where we're at. I think it's time to take some money here too. I am not interested in swing trading here, so don't get me wrong. SMH is 200, 195. In fact, I got out early with a bunch of stuff myself. SMH is like 10 cents. Okay, so we closed half at 10 cents. That was my target. So that was met. You know what? Let's just take it, the whole thing, instead of sitting around. You know, it's one of these common sense things of our max profit. What's 8 divided by 9? 89%. Alex, good. You know what, Alex? Good thing you did not buy leg at the very same time, because then what do you think your post would look like? Well, it'd be peg leg in, and then that would, look a little strange. H Hotel stopping out, you dog. I did not, bar by bar analysis is so important. I knew that thing was on life support the way it closed yesterday. Esta alarm again. Yeah, that's why. Exactly right. And I remember I made the comment. I said I was also playing with fire, kind of like ADI and AMD having earnings. But